Hi everyone again, and this is the Inner Wisdom at Work pre-recorded second part to this webinar. And so the first part was just explaining a little bit about inner wisdom at work, and now I just thought I'd leave you with a few pertinent points from my wise owl sayings, and particularly looking at it from a point of view of how can we find our inner wise counsel. So sit back and relax. This would only take a few minutes just to give you a little bit of an idea of looking at our inner wise self for just these few minutes and just having a think about things from a different manner. So the previous PowerPoint slides were and webinar was about giving you an overview of looking at what is wisdom, what is inner wisdom, the different aspects of that wisdom and how we might find that both within and without ourselves. And there's a separate meditation as well that we'll be doing. So there's three parts to this. So there's the inner wisdom and a little bit about that. And now I'll be telling you a bit about the Inner Wisdom series coming up. So there'll be a series of workshops, 4 weeks. You can choose to join that live or pre-recorded. So it's up to you whether you choose to join me live or pre-recorded. They'll be starting in late February, early March, depending on how many people come on board. And then I'll be setting the date soon. Okay, so here we go, and I'm going to be sharing my screen, and I will just be 1 second. Here we go. So bear with me, and we will just go from here. So here is one of my wise owl sayings just to kind of start us off for this final little portion of the webinar. So the wisdom you seek is already within you. That's just something for us to all think about. And beauty, like we talked about within the shell and the rock before, is in the eye of the beholder. We don't even realize our own beauty until such point as it's pointed out to us. And in our society, it's often encouraged for us to not have a big head or not promote ourselves in terms of our own inner beauty or outer beauty. And then it is outer beauty, the consistency and the congruency of inner beauty. And I guess my argument is inner beauty is never the same as outer beauty. So outer beauty can be anything from looking beautiful, whether it's makeup and putting on a nice dress or nice pants for guys. Though, is that really beauty? Is that just what society suggests is beauty to us? So, we're looking at the inner wisdom and our inner beauty when we're looking at our inner wisdom at work. And so it's kind of drawing upon what are we good at, what are we passionate about, and what do people see is the light shining within us? Because that is our inner beauty and our inner wisdom, and where that comes from is a really, really heartfelt, authentic place. And so we're looking at, you can look at, the magazines, and they can be just, as they stand, it can be face value. What we're looking for with inner wisdom and inner beauty is that authentic viewpoint of what really is beauty for you, for me, or how do you see beauty in other people? So that's something to consider. So some of these wise owl sayings come from eons and centuries of people saying these things that they really resonate with us. When we often have these cliches or sayings, they can be something that really resonate with all humans. Even it might be all humans in the Western world at the moment, though beauty is in the eye of the beholder could be true for anyone from any place around the world. So some things to think about. And certainly, I think this is relevant, and I wanted to share this for the sake of the inauguration of Donald Trump at the moment, and looking back at history and forward to the future, we want to make sure that we hold people in power and leadership positions accountable. We've got to be really careful that we do not just let things go when it comes to standing up for our rights and ensuring equality amongst all people. So history repeats itself endlessly, or it's doomed to repeat itself for those who aren't willing to learn the lessons from the past. And that's Leon Brown there, but there's many other people who've said similar things. So this is quite a cliche that has been used on quite a number of occasions by different people in different ways. I thought this one particularly spoke well. And we can have new modern social media, we can have new ways of doing things. We can't forget that things can creep up on us, and we can't forget that things can change dramatically, where if we're not paying attention, we could become railroaded just by a few leaders in power. So we need to be careful and keep that inner wisdom going, and speak up when we need to. Speak up for the people who don't have a voice, and that's part of inner wisdom too. Ultimately, we need to seek wise counsel when we're feeling lost. So a counsellor like myself may or may not be old. Often what they have, which other people may not in the community, is the wisdom of listening to other people's experience and being able to learn from that. Often it's foresight. So it's being able to seek that wise counsel in another person who might be able to say, well, that might not work, because they might have seen 100 people with that same issue. It could be grief, relationships, could be all sorts of things like affairs. In my case, where I'm looking after a lot of couples, could be a number of things like the death in a family and how to manage that. So if we don't seek wise counsel, often we can feel lost when life transitional moments happen to us. So we've got these life transitional moments, they happen. What if we're shocked when they come our way? What if we have nowhere to go to with them? So my suggestion is to seek wise counsel. Even those who are counsellors like myself seek other counsellors to ensure that they're on the right track too. And finally, just to finish up the series, it's going to be starting in late February, early March, depending on the demand is probably the right word. And it's called Inner Wisdom at Work, and it will be a program with 4 sessions fortnightly, focusing on some of the things that have been discussed here, and we'll expand on that. It will be about you though. So looking at what makes you wise, what is your wisdom that you bring to the world, and what would you like to do with that? How can you become a leader in what you do? So for now, I'll leave that with you, and you can catch me at www.butterflycourage.com or on butterflycourage@gmail.com is my email address, or renee@butterflycourage.com, either one of those. So I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to email me and ask me questions about the program, and I'd love to speak to you more. Thank you for your time, and blessings for today. All the best to you. See you later. Now just stop my share, and I hope to see you soon. Bye guys.